If you like listening to podcasts as much as we do, you may want to listen to us while you're working out or going for a run or doing a number of other things. Maybe you're grocery shopping or maybe you listen to us while you're supposed to be working. Whatever it is, if you want to add a beat in the background for some extra motivation, you should check out this new app called Podbeat.
Podbeat is a free mobile app that lets you add any beat style to any podcast for your workout. It's easy to use and free to download in the App Store. Sometimes podcasts may lose your attention because you're just listening to someone talk. With Podbeat, podcasts are a lot more fun.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And the other thing that I really like about Podbeat is that you can choose from a bunch of different beats. So it's not like you're listening to the same thing over and over. There are a ton of options. Some that I prefer myself. I really like the funk beat, which you can hear in the background right now. And another one that's one of my favorites is the trap beat.
I agree. I love the trap beat as well. I also really like that for each beat I pick, I can change the treble, the BPM, the volume, and the bass levels. I'm like my own DJ. It's a lot of fun. Definitely check out Podbeat in the App Store or also on Google Play Store for Android users. Okay, on to the show. Welcome to Rewind, Rewatch. I am Andreen.
And I am Joel.
And we are siblings who are rewatching 90s movies and discussing how well they aged. At the end of the episode, we will give it a rating between 1 and 5 rewinds. We'll also address any themes, any funny quotes, and anything about the movie that in general just kind of stood out.
I also wanted to shout out all of the new listeners because I feel
we've
been getting a lot of messages lately from people who said like, "Oh, we just found your podcast," or people that have been like watching the different videos we've been posting on social media that have been reaching out and saying like, "Oh, I'm a new follower. You guys are so funny." So we appreciate all the positive feedback we've been getting, and if you have been enjoying our episodes, then make sure you spread the word, tell your friends, and hopefully, we can keep doing what we're doing and you guys will continue to be entertained.
And don't forget to subscribe, and also leave us a review. We love to see what you guys think. So on Spotify, they are now allowing reviews, and then also on Apple Pods. Please feel free to leave your thoughts.
And obviously, one of the biggest ways that we've been interacting with listeners is by getting your requests for movies for us to review. And we've continued to, I think it's probably the past 7 or 8 episodes have been all movies that
requests
have been requested by people. So outside of maybe the first few episodes, we haven't even been selecting these on our own. Well, I think we cheated for Aladdin.
Yeah.
But we had to do
We were dying to do that one.
But this week's is another request that we got from multiple people wanted to see us do this movie, Men in Black from 1997.
Yep.
And this is starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones with supporting roles from Vincent D'Onofrio and Rip Torn.
Yeah.
And before we even get started on the review of the movie, what was your general memory of this film going in?
So I have seen this movie before a few times, less than 5 for sure. I would say more than 2. But of course, it has been quite some time. This movie came out when I was 13. And I remember that obviously it's Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, and that there's some kind of government agency that's trying to protect Earth from aliens. That's generally what I remember. But I don't remember any of the actual scenes, any fights, any there was, I should say not anything. I do remember someone's head being blown off and and growing back.
It's Monk, baby.
Because how can you forget that? But other than that, yeah, there wasn't a lot that I remembered going into it.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Tony Shalhoub, who's also in this movie. He's not really a supporting actor. He's only in maybe 2 scenes, but
still,
he looks completely different.
Completely.
I was looking at him he looks so skinny compared to Monk and the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. But obviously that was 20 years prior, so that explains. I was a lot skinnier back then too. Yeah, I feel kind of similarly. Like I feel like I might have seen this movie even fewer than 5 times for sure.
Yeah,
I don't really remember seeing. I feel like I probably haven't seen this movie in 20 years.
that's
Like I
fair.
feel like like I didn't really remember much from it. Obviously the neuralizer, which I did not remember what it was called, but like
At all.
the memory zap thing, I remember that. I remember, like you said, the part when Tony Shalhoub's head gets blown off. And obviously like they're fighting. And I also remember the scene with Will Smith like delivering an alien baby. I remember.
I don't remember that, and I was like, "What is happening?"
But like, I definitely did not remember the plot line.
No, why would
And
you?
I certainly didn't remember even how the movie ended. And I didn't even remember that there was like a woman. Like I didn't remember her character at all.
Seriously, I
Like,
thought
the
it was just
doctor,
me. I was like, "Where'd this woman
who
come
is this
from?"
person? And speaking of which, I'm looking at her the whole time. I'm like, yo, I know this woman. I've seen her before. She looks mad familiar. So I go searching for like, what else has she been in? Where would I have known her from?
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing. So I'm like, how do I know
Okay.
this woman? And then I realized her name is Linda Fiorentino. And I was totally confusing her for Juliana Margulies from ER.
Oh,
And if you think I'm bugging, pull up Linda Fiorentino and pull up Juliana Margulies and just look at them. And you'll be like, oh, okay.
oh,
Trust me, they look similar enough. So I'm like, yo, that's not the woman. That's not the woman from ER. Like, and then I'm like, nah, this is not. I don't see any ER on her filmography. Like, there's
That's
nothing on her
crazy.
page that says ER. Like, so then I had to look up who's the ER lady. But anyway, shout out to Linda Fiorentino.
Okay.
She plays some sort of doctor. What's
medical examiner.
Medical, yeah, right. So, and she's kind of like figuring out. So, anyway, like Andreen said, the premise of this movie is that there are aliens on Earth, but only the Men in Black know that aliens exist, and their goal, in addition to trying to keep the Earth safe, is to also like make sure that the rest of humankind does not know that aliens are there.
Yeah,
And the neuralizer serves its purpose of erasing the memory of anybody who becomes exposed to alien life, so that they don't remember it. Which was also not like totally explained. Which this is a sci-fi movie, but I feel like it's more of a comedy than it is a
oh,
sci-fi.
absolutely.
So they didn't really like try to explain that much, but there were multiple points in the film where Will Smith's character is basically like, yo, like, are you sure this isn't gonna like hurt them? Like,
I know.
Is it gonna cause them
Long-term
cancer? Like,
effects.
what's gonna happen to their brain functionality? And it's like, yeah, don't worry about it. So
Kay's completely unbothered, which I'll talk about a lot more later.
yeah. So like the whole idea and the whole premise of Will Smith is basically he's like a NYPD police detective, and he is chasing down a criminal who actually is an alien, and he's trying to explain what happened. And they're just like, yo, he's bugging.
Well, can we kind of go back before Will Smith for a second? So the movie starts off, and they're giving us pretty much this movie is about aliens off the bat, because you see this guy driving a truck, and he has these migrants coming from another country, and they're trying to get into the U.S. They get stopped. And then out of nowhere, you have Tommy Lee Jones comes out. His name is Agent K, and he says he's from the Division 6 of INS. And the local cops are sitting there. They're like, there is no Division 6 of INS. So, like, what are you talking about? And this whole scene was kind of funny to me because he was talking about how, like, he's trying to protect us from, like, aliens on the border. And it's like, he means, like, actual aliens, whereas the Border Patrol people are just there because they're trying to stop undocumented immigrants from coming into the country. And so, of course, he spots this one guy who is actually an alien. He gets him away from the rest of the other people, and we get to see when this person, like, loses his human form and shows his true alien form. And one of the Border Patrol cops sees the alien, and once that happens, the alien basically goes to attack him, and then Agent K has to disarm this weapon and blow this alien up. And we're seeing, of course, everything that Joel just talked about. The alien dies, this Border Patrol cop saw what happened, and of course, this is all hush-hush, right? The government does not want us to know that aliens are on the planet. So this neuralizer is used to essentially zap someone's memory so that after they see the alien, if the neuralizer is used on them, they will then forget the alien ever existed, they ever saw it. And what happens is Agent K starts to compile this story. It's like, oh, he'll make up some scenario to explain why they are where they are. And then, of course, they will forget they ever saw the alien. And as Joel mentioned before, there's some concern from Will Smith's character because he's like, yo, like you keep zapping these people. And some people get zapped over and over again, like the medical examiner. It happens to her, at least from what we've seen, at least 3 or 4 times. And it seems as though Agent K has done this to her numerous times before. And we're not quite sure is it going to cause brain damage or cancer or what, but we keep zapping these people. And then eventually, they forget what's happening. Division 6 can kind of go on and protect human nature from these aliens, essentially. That's their job.
Right. After, the incident at the border that you talked about, basically the other agent that's there with Tommy Lee Jones' character, his name is Agent D, and he's an older gentleman, and he falls down when he's supposed to be accosting the alien, and kind of the alien almost gets away.
Yeah, he couldn't get his gun out in time.
Yeah, so it seems like he's kind of slowing down.
He's washed.
He's not able to do the job anymore. So now they're like, all right, we got to find somebody else to do it. And they find this NYPD detective played by Will Smith, Detective James Edwards, and he is basically exposed to an alien who he's trying to arrest. He doesn't know the guy's an alien, but then he basically he blinks sideways. Oh, he scales a building first.
Oh my God.
He ran up the side of a building. So then Will Smith was like, what happened? And then he is standing in front of him with a gun drawn, and he blinks up and down like a normal eyeball, but then he blinks sideways.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, what?
It was freaky.
And then he throws himself off the side of a building. So then Will Smith is just like, yo, this is crazy. I thought I had this guy caught, and I really don't know how to explain this. So obviously when he goes back and tells everybody this, they're all like, yeah, I don't think that's what happened. Maybe you just need a rest.
He was actually so this alien apparently was a cephalopod.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Right, yeah. How could I forget?
So, of course, in case you don't know what that is, it's actually a molluscan marine animal, such as a squid, an octopus, a cuttlefish, or a nautilus. Just want to spit some knowledge.
That was helpful. So then they're like, all right, let's see if this guy can actually become one of us. Because It seems like what they're doing is recruiting people from different branches of government, like armed forces, not like people in Congress. But
there's no attorneys? They didn't get any attorneys in there?
I don't think they had any attorneys. Because they're actually not a part of the government, right? They're their own agency.
Yeah.
So
they're deep, undercover.
They're doing their own thing. So they're trying to see maybe this detective has what it takes. Mm-hmm. And
remember, the reason why even Agent K thought he could do it was the fact that he said he was able to chase down a cephalopod on foot. And he was very impressed by that. Because he was out. He basically had the Forrest Gump.
I mean,
who was out here? He had the Forrest Gump, man. He was out here. Run, Forrest.
I think the first thing I noticed about his character is just how bright his clothes were.
Oh my gosh, all the time.
We talk about these orange pants that Detective Edwards is wearing.
I thought he was a prisoner at first.
I didn't know what it was like. Yeah, it was like a prison jumpsuit. It seemed like it was supposed to be like a jumpsuit, but he was only wearing it as pants. So the
arms were around his waist.
Part, the upper part that he was supposed to put, the sleeves were just kind of hanging loose. And it's this outfit was probably popping at the time.
Oh yeah,
because 1997.
The baggy clothes. That was it.
Baggy clothes was popping for the next 7 or 8 years after that too.
Yeah.
But even just the brightness, and then even when he goes to the MIB headquarters to do the test, which we definitely have to talk about this.
Oh
test
my gosh, that's hilarious.
Also a super bright red jacket.
That was so crazy.
He's wearing Tim's. I'm like, yo, this is the most Puffy and Mace music video ass outfit.
It's because he's street. Don't you understand? That's how street people dress.
It's also like the most like 1997 hip hop outfit. It's like shiny suit era. Like,
big puffy jacket.
He looked like he came out of
a Missy video,
a Bad Boys music video. Like Puffy would just need to show up and just be dancing.
We don't really need that though.
Well, yeah. I guess that's one thing that didn't age well.
But boom,
he's not even in the movie, but man,
yikes.
And yeah, so let's talk about this. So then they're finally like, all right, we're trying to find this alien, and let's see if he can take the test and actually join the Men in Black.
Bro,
but mind you, he doesn't know why he's there because he's already been zapped.
None of them do.
So they're all just showing up because they received a test, probably based on something that they've all seen and that they've all uncovered but got zapped to forget.
Right. So to be clear, in the room, you have different, like you said, you have like someone who's like from the Marines, someone who's like from the Air Force, someone who's...
a bunch of Army guys.
Army, yeah. So everybody's in like their uniform, like dressed to the nines, like crisp, clean, like standing at attention. And Will just comes in all willy-nilly, like looking around like...
He has on Tim's baggy jeans and a bright red shiny jacket.
And
Can we also talk about how Will Smith's waves was spinning mad crazy?
Oh, yes. I said, ooh, this boy had on 2 do-rags.
Nah, he
had on at least 2 do-rags.
He was brushing to his heart's content.
Oh my gosh.
Because the whole thing, we talk about shiny suits and we talk about baggy jeans from the 90s, but we also got to talk about like how big waves was.
The waves,
especially in the Black community.
Yes.
It was like, every guy was trying to get waves or braids. It's like you
had to have one or the other.
If you grew your hair out, you was trying to get braids. If you didn't grow your hair out, then you were like using wave grease and do-rags and like brushing your head constantly.
I remember being in high school and like dudes would be like, we used to call it the courtyard, like outside at school during lunchtime, and like dudes would actually be like comparing waves.
They're having a wave off?
And so like people were looking around. Yeah, one guy would be the judge. And he'd be like, nah, yours is better than his. And like guys would be comparing.
They were having wave offs,
comparing their waves. But if Will was in that competition, boy,
Will was a real competitor when it comes to this wave thing.
Wait, so they're in the room, and of course, all the other guys who are there are very much aware this is some kind of like very hush hush, like undercover. Governmental thing going on, taking it very seriously because looking for the best of the best, and so like
best of the best of the best, sir.
That's the part
with honors.
I can't even get it out. So Will basically raises his hand and he like asks the guy who's like in front of the other officers, like explain what's going on. He's going to be administering the test, and he's like, "I'm sorry, like, why are we here?" And so this other black guy who's from the military raises his hand, and he's like, "We're here because you're looking for the best of the best, sir." And Will's like, "Yeah, but he has no idea why we're here." And he's like, "Captain America over here is like best of the best, sir." And he's like, he has no idea. When I tell you, I was bawling because it was like, bruh.
Second Lieutenant Jake Jensen, West Point, graduate with honors. We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir.
What's so funny, Edwards?
Your boy Captain America over here. The best of the best of the best, sir. With honors. He's just really excited and he has no clue why we're here. That's very funny to me. Y'all ain't laughing though.
It was also the fact that the guy introduced himself as like Major such and such and such, graduated from West Point with honors. Why would that be a part of your introduction?
Because he's one of those people.
Like, it was so trash.
He's one of those people.
Why did you say that?
Everybody knows people like that.
And then Will was just, I keep calling him Will. That's not his name in this movie.
It's Will, it's fine.
But his name is Will Smith in like every movie. If I'm watching Bag of Vance, if I'm watching
Independence
Enemy
Day.
of the State, if I'm watching, like I Am Legend, I'm like, yo, did you see what Will Smith did? Like, it's always Will Smith.
It's not just Will.
No, you have to say Will Smith. You have to say Will Smith.
Okay, so Will
So
Smith.
Will Smith was like, nah, this guy's fucking. And he's also like, it's the whole optic of it because they're just in like this blank white room with these very uncomfortable chairs. And they're all like sitting like back straight.
Yeah,
like,
very stuffy.
Shiny shoes and they got their uniform. And Will Smith's just like lounging, sitting back in the chair with his legs wide open, wearing Timbs.
He's so New York.
And he's like very much not taking this seriously.
At all.
Of just like, I'm here. I'm trying to figure out why I'm here. I'm not trying to prove anything to y'all.
Right.
Like, I need y'all to prove something to me.
Exactly.
And he came in with a certain arrogance that I think, you know, Rip Torn's character, he's Chief Zed, who's the head of the MIB. Tommy Lee is Agent K, and then Will becomes Agent J.
Agent J, yeah.
But yeah, like, he's kind of looking like, who is this dickhead, basically?
Right.
And I think Agent K is kind of like, he seems unconventional, but there's something about him that intrigues me that makes me feel like he could be good at this.
He's a good cop.
And that's like a running theme throughout the rest of the movie of even when he does join the MIB, he's like the rookie who doesn't really know what he's doing. But Tommy Lee Jones's character is basically like training him up in a way where it's like, yo, like you'll figure it out, just follow my lead.
Right. We get past the test, and basically at the end of it, Tommy Lee character convinces what's his name? Agent Zed?
Chief Zed, yeah.
Chief Zed. He basically,
this is after he shoots the white girl in the head. You can't forget about that part.
Because so they have this drill where they're all supposed to be shooting at these monsters, right, in the middle of Manhattan, and they're hanging off of buildings, hanging off of like street lamps, and the other guys are like, I mean, they're going like balls to the wall with their guns, and they're shooting every monster you can see. And Will keeps like putting his gun up and putting it back down, up and putting it back down. Then he takes one shot, pop, and they end, and they're like, and they pull it out, and it's like, bro, why did you shoot this little white girl straight in the forehead? And he gives this whole
impressive shot.
He gives this whole explanation about, you know, this monster's over here, look like he's just trying to work out. This guy over here is doing whatever, and
He has a tissue, so he probably just has a
he
cold.
had a cold. And then he basically says, well, her, you know, she's walking around here. First of all, she's 8 years old, and she was carrying like physics or chemistry books.
Quantum physics.
Yeah, and he's like, that's way above like her intelligence. That seems like really odd to me. Like, and also why is she out in the middle of the night around all these monsters? And he's like, I think something's wrong with her. So basically, the other guys are looking at him like, this guy. And of course,
there's no way he's making it in this elite community that I have no idea what it is.
Right. He didn't graduate with honors.
Best of the best of the best, sir.
So Will gets picked, and then basically at this point, this is when he finds out what's going on, and Agent K starts to explain to him that there are aliens on the Earth. Aliens have been on the Earth for quite some while now. I think he said since March the 2nd in 1961 was the first alien contact. And then he talks about...
Which means they might have even been here longer than that.
Right, that's when we first made contact, you're right. And then he mentions like there's the World's Fair in Queens in 1964 was just a cover, which I thought was funny. And at the time, Will's looking at him and he's like, you must think I'm an idiot because, of course, why would I believe you? And he's like, you want some coffee? Let's get some coffee.
Yeah.
And they go into the coffee room and then we see these like 4 like mini aliens who are like pouring coffee and like hanging out in the break room. And Will cannot believe what he's looking at because it's like, these are actual aliens. Because can you imagine like going through this weird job interview and then they walk you to the break room and you see 4 aliens? Like, yeah. like your brain is just blown at this point.
I'm also, speaking of your brain being blown, I also am thinking about when they go to Jeebs because he knows. So Will Smith. So Will Smith.
Just keep doing it.
I can't stop.
It's fine.
So Will Smith already knows Monk because because Monk runs a pawn shop that he's been to before. He's probably bought jewelry there. And he's also a detective, so he knows like shady characters go to pawn shops. So I'm sure he's probably done research there or whatever. But
Jeep is also kind of shady. He's a shady dealer.
Yeah. He's basically playing Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. Like that's basically what he is. But he's an alien. So while they're there, Will Smith is basically like trying to get him to admit because they found some strange gun that he's let's go ask him about it. So he's like, yo, show us where it is. And then Tommy Lee's like, yo, if you don't tell us in the next 3 seconds, I'm shooting you. So 3, 2, 1, he doesn't say. And then Tommy Lee shoots him and his head just explodes.
Whoa. And this green slime like you're watching Double Dare on Nickelodeon comes flying out.
He'll do it, Jeeves.
1,
I'm telling you, that man does not look stable.
2.
But you know what? Talk to me. He is just crazy when he's like this.
He's always crazy. Why don't you get a massage? Take a cruise.
3.
Drop the weapon and put your hands on your head.
I warned it.
Drop the weapon!
You warned it.
Don't make me kill you.
You insensitive prick. Do you have any idea how much that stings?
So Will Smith freaks out. He's like, "Yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, I wouldn't actually want to kill him. Like, you're wilding."
But also, you didn't notice that green slime
He didn't mention
and
anything
goo
about
just went
the,
flying.
He didn't mention anything about the goop. He just was like, he was upset that he blew his head.
I
off.
mean, yes.
There was no blood though. That should have tipped him
Yeah.
off somewhat. And then while they're standing there arguing, well, he's really arguing. Agent K is just
He's just
looking
calmly,
at him because
of course.
he's like in his full like Tommy Lee Jones-ness. And then his head just grows back, and I'm really thinking to myself, like, if you're Will Smith,
I'm out. I'm running out of the
like,
store.
what is going through your mind as you're seeing this person that you know? It's not like a stranger. Like, I know this man,
I'm running out of the store.
and his head, I saw his head get blown off. I was here. I was standing next to him, and then it just grows back. Like, what do you do?
I told you, you run out of the store in reckless abandon, mind you. That's the only way to run out.
The most reckless.
The most.
So yeah, so that's his first exposure, and then he sees, but he doesn't remember that because he gets
zapped. Right.
So then when he sees the aliens in the coffee room, he's like, "Oh, this is a real thing." So then, long story short, like Agent K shows him around the headquarters. This is kind of what we do. This is what we're doing, and basically, we want you to join. So what's good? I'm gonna give you 24 hours to think about it. But if you join Men in Black, here's the catch: you have to cut off all human contact with basically everyone that you know, and your identity as a human on this earth will basically be erased. So you will no longer exist, but you will be able to join the cause that keeps the earth safe.
See, and this is the thing, like, when they talk about scrubbing your identity, like, you have no more fingerprints. Like, you have nothing. You essentially don't exist. So
No, you don't exist
So
anymore.
whoever you've lost or loved or any family members, like, your life is now, you belong to the agency. And I think what scares me about that is, like, so if I die during a mission for this job, like, then that's it. Like, does my family doesn't even remember me? Like,
No, they don't remember you whether you die or not, though.
I know, but it's just
Like you don't exist
this
anymore.
sad existence.
It's a non-existence.
The only friend you have, quote unquote friend, is your partner.
Yeah, but then it's also like, even if you do make friends, which you're really not supposed to, but if you were to make friends, you'd have to zap them. So it's like, you'd never be able to.
Yeah.
Because this is a conversation I was having when my girlfriend was watching the movie, and she's like, why does it have to do this? Like, why can't it just be a secret society? Why do they have to like cut off contact? And I think the point of it is, like, I don't think you can maintain that level of secrecy and have anyone in your life, because eventually you're either going to like tell a lie that conflicts with another lie, or you're going to be putting them in danger just because you're
thinking.
in the same space as them.
Right. For
or
protection.
Like you are chasing an alien and they get away, but then the alien finds out where you live and they
Yeah,
show up. Or you
yeah.
at happy hour with your boys and then an alien pulls up and kills your friend. Then it's
Ain't no
like,
happy hour.
Yeah,
Not with
like,
this
ain't
job.
no happy hour. So then it's like, yeah, like you actually just have to it's the only way to make sure that the secretness of the Men in Black remains a secret is like none of the people who work for us can exist outside.
Yeah.
Because then the whole organization is compromised.
But then I was thinking too, and like we kind of they touched on it at the end where Tommy Lee's character gets out. But I feel like at the beginning when he zapped his old partner, the older gentleman, and he was like, "Your now your memory is gone." So I'm like, I guess if you give them a good memory, then they're fine. But I'm just like, if whoever zaps you has a lot of power, because if you don't give them a good memory, they could be homeless. Like I wake up and I'm somewhere and I have no idea who I am, where I am. Like,
yeah, but he served the organization for many years. I'm sure they gave him something decent
with some nice pay. I don't know how that works.
I don't know about the pay part. They didn't really talk about the MIB pension plan. Maybe that was in part 2. But yeah, I would assume that if you did right by them, then they'd like kind of set you up in a way where you can go away and then you just still would never remember.
But the way they set up Will Smith's character was that we didn't see him really interact with anyone outside of the agency apart from the medical examiner. So it wasn't like he was leaving behind a girlfriend or a child or a parent. It was like we just see him by himself. And he sat alone with it, thought about it for a very long time, and then decided to go ahead and join up.
I think that's the best way to do this, though. Like, I feel like you have to target people that don't have long-term ties, right? They don't have kids. They don't have a spouse. They're not taking care of their dying mother. Like, it has to be someone who's kind of already isolated so that making them disappear is easy, because otherwise, it's just more work. Like, if I'm taking this married guy with 3 kids, then I have to basically, like, zap his whole family and then create a story for all of them. It's like a whole hassle that I don't have to deal with if I'm just, like, taking this guy that has no ties to anyone else. So essentially, instead of being James Darrell Edwards III, his entire existence, Social Security, fingerprints gets deleted along with his name, and now he is just the letter J.
Oof.
So what's the actual premise of this movie, or what's the main plot in terms of like the aliens that they're chasing and what's happening? Were you able to follow this plot?
Yeah, so before I answer your question, this is relevant, I trust. Believe me. So there's a part where like
Believe me. Trust me. Trust me, guys. Totally relevant. Believe me. If someone says believe me, then obviously.
Listen, so it's about the part where he's walking Will Smith through the agency, and we see the aliens kind of coming through customs. And I really like this part because, they're showing, like, okay, why are you here? Business or pleasure? How long are you staying, on the Earth, basically? And they have to go through these different officers, and they got to check their bags, and it's essentially like a customs for Earth. So from that, it's showing us that, aliens are living on the Earth at all times. We're aware of it, and they have clearance to be here. Well, at least some of them do, or at least most of them do. But of course, we find out that this one alien who is played by, I call him Law and Order guy.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes, Law and Order guy. We know who he is. He basically, so an alien.
Or Full Metal Jacket guy, depending on your point of reference.
Law and Order. So the actual alien who is named the Bug, it's a bug alien, the alien spaceship crashes, and it crashes in Law and Order guy's backyard. And when the alien spaceship crashes, he goes outside to kind of investigate. And when it happens, the alien takes over his body. And this alien now becomes basically the main, quote unquote, bad guy in the movie. Because he is not a good alien. He is here in an unauthorized ship, unauthorized landing. He shouldn't be here at all. And of course, as a bug, they thrive on carnage and death. So this is not someone we actually want on Earth. There's a scene where after he crashes and Law and Order guy comes out, he basically kills him, and he wears his skin as a costume.
Yeah.
And so, of course, my true crime murder mind thinks of Ed Gein. For those of you who don't know, Ed Gein was a guy he was based on, what's that movie? Silence of the Lambs. Mm-hmm. The guy who was wearing like the...
Hello, Clarice.
Yeah,
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill, like, nipple lampshades and
he was killing women and wearing their skin.
Yeah. So I thought about that instantly. I'm like, oh, Ed Gein as an alien. I don't know why that occurred to me, but that's...
Wait, so Ed Gein started doing it based on Silence of the Lambs?
No.
Or Silence of the Lambs is
based on him.
Ed Gein?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be crazy. No. Silence of the Lambs is based on Ed Gein. But what I'm saying is, watching this, I was thinking about Bug the alien, and in my mind, I was like, oh, Bug is Ed Gein.
Okay.
That's very convoluted.
Yes.
But that's...
I'm glad it was worth it. So the whole idea of this alien being unauthorized is that they're basically like these competing alien forces that are in some sort of disagreement outside of Earth.
Correct. From
And-
Archelion, I believe, is the other planet.
Right. So the Archelians are basically already on Earth, and their master is here, and he's in control of like the galaxy or something. So he's here to try to destroy the galaxy as a part of their war.
The bug is here.
The bug, yes. Vincent D'Onofrio's bug character who takes over his body. And so we know that because the Archelians allegedly must be in some sort of treaty with the United States.
They are.
Not the United States, but Earth.
With Earth, yes. That's right. Wow.
Yeah.
You're right.
So Earth is basically like, oh, we have to protect the Archelians, and we
Mm-hmm.
have to catch this bug that's here unauthorized. So that's kind of like what they're doing in this whole movie.
And we try.
And I didn't remember any of this, of course.
No.
I don't even know if I fully understood this at the time when I watched the movie as a 11-year-old. I'm not sure that I really ever knew what the plot was before when I watched it.
We were way too young. It was just like, there's aliens.
Yeah, that's
I didn't even get that there were good and bad aliens. I just figured they were just aliens. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't really understand
no.
that we were looking after a particular time. I just thought the bad guy, Bug, was like the worst one of the aliens, but I didn't realize
Yeah,
it.
he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
He was clearly the bad guy.
But so basically, Will Smith and Agent K. I'm trying to remember his name.
We're not trying to remember Agent J at all. We have committed to just calling him Will Smith. But for the other characters, let's try to get it right.
So Will Smith and Agent K are starting to are starting to realize that something is amiss because all of the aliens that they know who are here legally are starting to take unauthorized ships off of Earth. And they're like,
Getting out of Dodge.
They're like, what's happening? Like, people are just like leaving. And they end up stopping this one alien. This is when the whole birth happens with the alien baby. This one guy is driving out. He's an alien, and his wife is in the back, and she is in labor. And Agent K starts talking to him and asking what's going on. And he's like, yeah, like, we're just trying to get out of here. And he's like, why? And he doesn't actually specifically tell him what's going on, but Agent K starts thinking, like, what could be so important that this guy would risk trying to essentially jump on an unauthorized ship with a pregnant wife who's essentially almost due? Like, what's going on? They end up figuring out that this bug is here. The bug ends up finding the Archelian prince. I think it was the prince, Archelian prince. He finds the Archelian prince. He figures out where he's eating dinner, and he murders him. And
They eating like pierogies or... Yeah, they were eating
yeah,
pierogies.
they were eating pierogies. And this bug guy, first of all, he's disgusting. Can we talk about this?
I mean, he's a giant bug.
There's cockroaches coming out of his arms every time he
What was
puts his
that
hands
about?
down.
I wasn't really clear on that because what we understand about this alien and what we come to find out at the end of the film when he fully unmasks himself
Oh, he was
is that he's
monstrous.
basically like a huge roach
Ugh.
of some sort. But throughout the course of the film, there's constantly like roaches trailing him. He takes over this farmer's barn and it's filled with roaches.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
then when he goes to kill the Archelian prince at the pierogi restaurant, roaches start falling out of his sleeve onto the table.
And into their plates.
So then it's just like, okay, I understand that he's a bug, but why is his skin made of roaches? Like, that was not made clear to me. Like, why is there constantly just like a roach infestation on his person?
body.
Like, his physical being was just like a roach motel.
Hey, you thought crabs were bad. You ever had roaches?
You thought crabs were bad. Crabs are not better because this man was made of roaches, for the record. This doesn't make the crab's experience
No?
any more pleasant.
I didn't really get that. Maybe just an indicator that's like, oh, look, he's the bug man.
Yeah, like he's something. There's something buggy about this guy,
Yeah, he's the bug man.
but it's definitely not really explained.
But yeah, I mean, you know that he definitely loves bugs because they are him, and that's why he had to kill the exterminator. Because it's like, you're coming here to kill the bugs, like, now you must die. So I got that, but yeah, why there were bugs?
Which also didn't really make sense because
Why?
why is the exterminator there? Who called them?
maybe the call was made before.
Oh, so they already had roaches.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I don't think he brought roaches. I think like the roaches were there.
Oh, I see.
And then he was like, "Oh, like, what are you here for? Oh, to kill the roaches." And he was like, "Oh, bet."
you're not.
And then he killed him.
Yeah.
Because of course the roaches are like, that's his
kin.
family.
Yeah.
So he's gonna look out for his own. But yeah, he was absolutely disgusting. He was a roach infested Ed Gein.
I gotta say though, man, I thought Vincent D'Onofrio was like probably the most impressive actor in this movie. Because the way that they obviously did a lot of makeup, but like the way that he is, his whole affect is like someone who is not fully comfortable in human skin.
Yeah.
And the way that they do the makeup is like, it almost doesn't look like Vincent because his face, like, it's almost like his face is not on properly.
Yeah, it's like sagging, kind of.
It's like sagging, and then like as the movie progresses, he continues to look worse and worse because his body's basically decomposing in real time. So this skin suit that the bug is wearing is basically just becoming less and less
it's
human.
so gross.
To the point where by the end he just looks like this like walking zombie.
And even like his gait, even the way he moved was just very, it's like, who is this guy and what is his problem?
It really does feel like an alien pretending to be a human. Like he does a really good job with it to the point where he doesn't feel normal, but it still comes off because it's like, it's a sci-fi comedy. It's a very silly movie, so it doesn't come off like this guy looks like an idiot. It's like, oh, he's actually playing this role really well.
Oh, extremely well. So going back to the plot point a little bit here. So when the Arquillian prince gets murdered by the bug, so before he dies, he's like dying, and the body gets sent to the morgue, and that's where Agent K and Will Smith go. They see the medical examiner again, and she's looking at the body. So of course they go in and they pretend that they're doctors. They're like, "Oh, I'm, Doctor." I forget what name they even gave themselves.
He called him Dr. Black.
I didn't even catch that.
Oh, that was hilarious. Because then he also looks at him like, "What, bro? Like, what are you doing here?" Like, but then they go to a second place. I can't remember if it was here or the other place, but there's two different places where they had to introduce themselves, and every time they had to create a fake name, he kept giving him a different name. Yeah. So the first time he called him Mr. Black, then the second time he called him Dr. White. Like he wasn't even coming up with creative names. Like, he was making up these super creative names for himself, and then just giving Will Smith like some trash.
I'm Dr. Leo Manville, Department of Public Health. This is Dr. White.
That sounds about right.
Nah, it was hilarious.
He does not care.
Also, like, shout out to, we're here talking about good acting. I mean, this is our second Tommy Lee movie behind The Fugitive was the first one that we did. And Tommy Lee just has a certain, like, affect about him.
That's the word I was going to use. It's perfect.
It's just perfect. Like, he is kind of just like playing a different version of himself, but it hits every time.
Yes.
Like, it never feels corny, or it never feels like this guy needs more range. It's like, nah, he's giving this movie exactly what it needs. And his comedic timing is really good too.
Perfect. It's perfection. I have no notes.
No notes.
At all.
10 out of 10. Great guy.
So they're in the morgue. They see the body. There's two bodies that are there that are dead. In one of the bodies, there's this silver thing, like a silver, like almost like a staple in the side of the ear.
Yeah, it looked like his ear was stapled to his head.
So they press it, it opens up, and we see the Arquillian prince. And there are this little tiny alien that's sitting inside of the head of this body. And the prince is dying. You could tell he's very weak. It's very hard for him to breathe. And Will Smith puts his ear close to the alien's mouth to kind of hear what he's saying, and the alien whispers, "To prevent war, the galaxy is on Orion's belt." And this is like this riddle that we're trying to figure out, because we're like, what exactly does this mean? How can the galaxy be on Orion's belt? And Will Smith actually goes back and he starts to the where the agency is located, the MIB agency, and he's asking around, and they're like, there is no galaxy. Like, this doesn't make any sense. The message is wrong. There's no galaxy on Orion's belt. And so this is like this riddle that they're trying to solve to figure out where is the galaxy and what is going on. There's this cat that's been following around the Arquillian prince this whole time. If you go back to the scene where the Arquillian prince is eating with someone else at this restaurant, he has this cat with him. And this cat has, of course, this cat collar. On the collar, it says Orion. And then, of course...
But even after the Arquillian prince gets or his human body gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like rolling him to the morgue, and the cat is still sitting on top of him, like on the stretcher, which was like kind of strange.
I mean, the cat was just kind of part of the morgue at that point because it's like, where's the cat gonna go?
Yeah,
Because the medical examiner was just kind of there with the cat, like she did it, and the bug. How did the bug figure out that the cat was there? I can't recall.
I think. I mean, I don't know. He figured out where the body was.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He basically trying to figure out where the dead were.
Yeah.
Because he knew, like, I killed him, so therefore, yeah, okay.
Where do you keep your dead?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So he goes to the morgue, he finds the cat, and eventually he's able to snatch the galaxy that is hanging on Orion's belt. So it's basically around the cat's collar. And it's this tiny little thing. And we, of course, humans were thinking, like, the galaxy's on Orion's belt. It must be this huge thing. And, of course, they weren't thinking that it could possibly be something as tiny that could fit on a cat's collar. But, of course, that's where it was. He ends up stealing it. And so once the bug is in possession of the galaxy, this is when the Arquillian people from their planet are like, yo, we need to get our galaxy back. And so that's when they start sending messages to Earth saying, like, you have, was it like 72 hours in Arquillian time or something to return it, which is actually in 1 hour in Earth time?
It was supposed to be like 7 days.
Or something. And it was literally like 1 hour in our time. It was like to return it, or else like we're gonna like basically start a war.
And then they sent a message that said, deliver the galaxy or Earth will be destroyed. Sorry.
I mean, at least they apologize.
Like, we don't want to have to do this.
They don't.
But
it's like, bro, like this guy came onto your planet unauthorized. You guys didn't stop him. He killed our prince, stole our galaxy. We have a treaty and like, y'all aren't doing anything.
So explain to me this, because I don't know if I even like really thought about this. I might have just overlooked it. But now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't really make sense. The Arquillians own this galaxy that's on the cat's collar, but they don't live in the galaxy.
They couldn't because
they're too large. So this is just a galaxy that they own.
Ugh.
So this is like,
that sounds kind of dark.
yeah, it's like
give us back our people.
Yeah, it's like we own this galaxy. This is like a crown jewel, basically, of our planet. They don't actually live on it. It's just basically like something that their galaxy owns. So it's kind of like, you know, if you go to England and they have like crown jewels, it's like we probably stole this from Africa, but we own them now, so you can't take them from England.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's
well, is that not what it was?
So the Arquillians are colonizers.
They're worse than colonizers because they didn't even take over the space. Like they can't live on the galaxy, right?
Oh yeah, it's too small. Yeah,
they just own it. But the people who live on that galaxy would never know.
So it's kind of like us having like ant farms and things of that nature. You know, like we do that all the time. Like we put these people in a capsule or in a cage or fish in a tank,
or any pet.
Yeah, but I also feel like with dogs it's different. Like in cats, it's like you
can at least interact with them.
Interacting with them,
Yeah,
you're providing them with a home. You're providing them with love and affection, or you should be. So it's not the same as like I said, having an ant farm or a fish tank. I think is like you're basically taking them and putting them in this bowl, and then they're living their lives circling a small location.
Well, I'm jumping ahead a bit, but this conversation reminds me of the end of the movie, which basically like zooms out of New York City and it shows the Earth, then it shows the galaxy that the Earth is in, and when it zooms all the way out, it shows that like our entire galaxy exists in a little marble in a larger alien's hand that he's using to basically play with.
Yeah.
So it's like this concept of like, yes, there might be galaxies that are significantly smaller than ours, but there's probably also galaxies that are significantly larger.
I loved that.
And like the concept, so then it's like, is that alien a colonizer?
Oh, okay.
No, because it's like, it's so small. It's so small that they're actually not affecting our galaxy at all.
Yeah, they're just caring for it. on their
he's
cat's collar.
playing marbles. Like, so that's really what it was. So yeah, I wouldn't call them colonizers.
Yeah, so I went into like the fandom. You know, that's the whole thing. The Men in Black wiki fandom,
Oh,
and,
God.
and they're saying that the Killians are much larger than the galaxy itself, being over 200 times bigger. So, like you said, like it's like this is small, tiny thing that
Yeah.
they're just. It's like the possession of the galaxy is a closely guarded secret, and they will go to great lengths to protect it.
Yeah,
So.
they were gonna destroy Earth. What was your favorite part of this movie, or maybe even like the funniest part?
Well, we talked about one of them, which of course was Will Smith taking that test, because everything he did was hilarious.
I feel like they also made the room that they did the test in uncomfortable on purpose.
Yeah, the chairs they
just
were
to
sitting
see
in.
how, and they didn't have any tables.
No tables,
to put
no
the
desks.
thing on.
But Will dragged the desk over, the table
He was
over.
resourceful.
And then he asked the guy, "You want in on this?" And the cop was looking at him like, "No."
Well, also I should say, while I'm giving shout outs to D'Onofrio and Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith was also mad funny in this movie.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like this is my favorite version of Will Smith is when he gets to be comedic. I mean, granted, my favorite Will Smith movie is probably Enemy of the State.
Oh, that one's so good.
But
So
even in
good.
that movie, he does a lot of like comedy.
Yeah, he does.
And I feel like that's probably like my most enjoyable version of him. Like I'm enjoying him more in this than I am in like I Am Legend, you know?
Oh, for sure. He's like,
Because I feel like he's adding things that other actors can do action movies as good as or better than Will Smith. But when it comes to these jokes,
he's gonna get these jokes off.
Nah, and he's gonna do it better than like other people can't do what he does.
When he said, "I'm NYPD, I will knock your punk ass down."
Nah, he was going in. He was going in the whole movie, man.
Oh man, that was funny.
When they went to the farm and they met up with Vincent D'Onofrio's
his
wife. And this farmer was an awful person.
Oh my God,
So
he was verbally abusive to his wife.
He was at least verbally,
Yeah.
if not more. And so it's like, I guess they're giving you this awful person so that you don't feel bad when he gets
Of
killed by
course.
the alien. But they go to basically ask her about like what happened that night, what did he do, what did he say, and she gives them some information, and then they zap her, and Agent K is just like nonplussed about this whole situation, and he's about to just tell her like, "Oh, you're no longer married and your husband disappeared," and he's like, "Bro, like that's all you're gonna say? Like,
Yeah.
at least set her up,
Have some
where she could-
compassion.
where she could like have something good happen in her life."
On a more personal note, Beatrice, Edgar ran off with an old girlfriend. You're gonna go stay with your mom a couple nights. You're gonna get over it and decide you're better off.
Well, yeah, you know, because he never appreciated you anyway. In fact, you know what? You kicked him out. And now that he's gone, you're going to go in town, you go to Bloomingdale's, you find yourself some nice dresses, get yourself some shoes, you know, find somewhere, maybe you get a facial.
Right.
And I feel like that was what Agent J. Yeah. I said
Oh,
it.
you said it.
Agent J was doing that the whole movie, where he was like, he kind of had more humanity, and I think a part of that also had to do with the fact that this was all completely
is
brand
new
new
to
to
him.
him. Where it's
Yeah.
like Agent K's been doing this for so long that he's kind of lost a bit of his humanity.
Yeah.
So that he's like doesn't really care about what happens to other people as much.
Even with the medical examiner,
like
he
that part was
doing
mad
that.
funny because he's basically like, instead of giving her like this boilerplate of what happened, he goes into detail of like, actually, you know, you're gonna go hang out with your family and you're gonna get together because you actually kicked him out,
Right.
And he left because he was cheating on you and da da da. And he's like trying to basically empower her. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, and by the way, you probably need to get like an interior decorator here, like, 'cause he said.
And, hire a decorator to come in here quick, because damn.
I was like, see, this is why.
It was good. It was
this is
good.
why you cast Will Smith for this. Like, so he
Absolutely.
can do things like this. Which
Nah,
is
he was hilarious. So talking about like favorite parts, you have like funny quotes that you wanted to, or parts?
Well, yeah. I mean, I already said a couple of them, but the other funny part, there's part when he's fighting Bug at the end of the movie, and he figures out that the best way to trigger him is to kill roaches.
Yeah.
Because he's going to try to, because K, long story short, he swallows the gun. K gets him to swallow him. He gets Bug to swallow him so he can go get his gun.
Right.
And he's like, no matter what you do, make sure the Bug does not leave this planet. Keep him
Exactly.
here. So he's trying to figure out how to keep him there. And what he figures out is if I kill these roaches, he's going to get triggered. He's going to want to fight me. So then he's stepping on the bugs and he's antagonizing him. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Was that your auntie? Like, it was like little stupid things like that.
It was
he was
funny.
just saying throughout the whole film. But this isn't so much a funny quote, but I think a quote that is kind of thematic as we get ready to talk about the theme of this movie. When Agent K is introducing the idea of the Men in Black to Agent J,
You said it again.
he
Look at
basically
you.
says, I know I'm doing so well. It only took me 45 minutes, guys. He describes like the concept of humankind and like how like this idea of ignorance is bliss and it's actually better for them if they don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Will Smith's character is basically saying like, yo, why don't we just let people know so that they can handle these? Like, nah. And the quote says, people are dumb, dangerous, panicky animals, and you know it.
Yes.
And
yes,
I was like,
yes.
oh man, that's amazing.
Yes.
Because it's like, yeah, you can't leave humans to their own devices because,
No.
yeah, we're mad anxious and we're constantly trying to like blow away our problems. So we probably just start a war with the aliens instead of like working with them.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what would happen. They'd be like, we gotta bomb them all. You know those
Dumb, dangerous, panicky.
You know, the bomb,
It was
the
perfect.
bomb types.
It's like, yeah, oh, the bomb types. Like, listen, the entire history of human history is
Yeah.
us just blowing things up and
Exactly.
killing each other.
Atomic bomb.
Yeah.
That's all it would be. It would be a hot mess. So for me, like the funny part for me, this is not a quote. It's just funny because we grew up in New York. So there's a part where the bug alien, he stole the car of the exterminator after he killed him. And he's driving around. He's trying to figure out where the Prince of Arcalian is. And at one point, he parks outside of the pawn shop, but he parks in a tow zone. And so he comes back, and the tow truck driver like has his vehicle, on the tow truck on the lift. And I noticed when he was going around to his car, there's like multiple parking signs, and one of the signs, he's in New York, and one of the signs says, "Do not even think about parking here."
I saw that. That was funny.
And I started laughing because I was like, yeah, like the New York signs are crazy. And then the bug sees the tow truck driver, so he pulls out his shotgun. So the tow truck driver turns around and looks at him, and he's like, oh, please, and pulls out his own gun. And I'm like, yo, if y'all ever see that TV show, it's like Repo something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Repo
about?
Wars?
Yeah, like people go out there and they're towing people's trucks. Like that job is dangerous because people are crazy.
Yeah.
Like people like lose their mind when they come outside and see their car about to be towed or repossessed.
Yeah, repossessed.
Oh
is
my gosh.
way worse than being towed.
Like people lose their mind.
Well, you talk about this truck, the exterminator truck, and I noticed that the phone number on the truck was 914. We zap 'em, and I noticed this
Westchester.
because I grew up in a New York suburb, Westchester County,
Yeah.
in Mount Vernon, New York.
Shout out.
And our area code was 914, but I'm like, this actually doesn't really make any sense because where the alien lands is like
that's not New York.
it's like farmland somewhere, and I'm like, why would they have a Westchester County? Like Westchester County is literally a New York City suburb.
Yeah.
Wherever that spaceship
That was
landed,
further upstate.
there's no farmland in Westchester County.
No, that's upstate. That's
So like it wouldn't be 914.
Yeah.
This is a small detail that nobody else cares about. But as someone who grew up in a 914,
that bothered you?
yeah, I was like, come on, bro. Like they could have used the
Like
upstate.
under your skin?
Yeah, they could have. It got under my skin worse than the bug. I'm like, yo, they could have used the upstate area code. They didn't have to use 914. But
Yo, speaking of New York references, so there's a part where they're talking about where all the aliens are basically jumping ship, like literally jumping ship.
Right.
And they're getting all these ships and they're leaving out. And so they start naming cities. It's like, what about this port? It's like, ship's gone. This port, ship's gone. And he's like, Staten Island. He's like, gone. He's like, thank God. I was like, oh, man.
nah, that's mad funny.
Shout out to Staten Island.
Is there anything from this movie that you feel like did not age well?
I mean, there were like some parts at the beginning, like with the migrant workers coming in and like,
I mean, depending on who you ask, that would age perfectly well.
Oh God.
Because
Well,
that rhetoric really hasn't changed.
well, we're not here for that rhetoric at all. So basically like the truck driver was basically driving these migrant workers like across the border, and one of the patrol officers, border control, finds them. They open up the trunk, they see them coming out, and when the cops see what's in the back of the car, the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I was just fishing." The cop sees the people in the back, and he's like, "Oh, well, if I were you, I would have sent them all back." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "It's supposed to be funny, but like this is not funny." Didn't care for that. And then I did notice that there was a lot of fat jokes, like when Will was talking to the other officer.
Oh yeah.
Like
He's like,
when the cop was like, "Oh, I didn't see what you were chasing," and he's like, "You and me, we should go outside for 10 minutes." And then Will's like, "How about 10 minutes on a Stairmaster, you pudgy bastard?" I was like, "Oh my God." Well, you laughed.
he said,
"Oh
he
God,
said, you're not half the cop I am.
I know." He's like, "You're right." Yeah. See, so Joel finds it amusing. I was like, "All right, the fat jokes." Joel's grabbing his chest, you guys. I wish you guys could see this.
It's not funny at all, though.
It's not funny, but he's dying of laughter.
It's not funny, man.
But it's like, yeah, like, I'm talking about not half the cop I am. It's like, yeah, you're double the, whatever. It just seemed very lazy, and it kind of reminded me. So my husband and I rewatched Moesha just to kind of
That's
see.
still happening?
Huh? No, not right now. We watched.
Okay.
Not currently rewatching.
Because I know you mentioned it on a previous episode, so I was like,
did I?
"Oh, you went back?" Yeah,
I
you
don't
did.
even remember that. Wow,
Yeah, you did.
crazy. But yeah, so basically the fat jokes, it's like, this is not really funny anymore, man. We can stop with the fat jokes. You can say the guy's an incompetent officer. That's fine. Call him.
And, the whole stereotypical cop that can't run after the suspect. And
Go eat a donut.
He eats donuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for me, there weren't a lot of things that didn't age well. I think the one thing that stood out for me was probably this. What was her name?
Medical examiner.
The medical examiner, Dr. Weaver. Mm-hmm. So she seems to be the only person, at least in the scope of this film, that isn't a part of Men in Black, that still is like constantly identifying strange things. Mm-hmm. And probably a lot of it has to do with the fact that she works in a morgue.
Right.
But like she's smart enough to figure out that stuff is going on. And even when she is exposed to aliens, she's not even freaking out. Like she's more so fascinated by it.
Oh, wow.
So
It's the scientist in her.
yeah,
a
she's
doctor.
curious and she's intelligent. But by the end of the movie, she basically just becomes a plot point, and it kind of just falls into like this damsel in distress where like she's literally just like being carried away by the bad guy, and then the two good guys have to come and save her as she's literally stuck in a tree.
Yeah.
And I was like, that didn't really age that well for me. Like this whole like damsel in distress.
She couldn't save herself or
even
help in any way.
She didn't.
In any way.
She just basically waited to be saved.
Yeah. Then at the end, she got a job. So.
And that made perfect sense. And
Yeah.
as I'm watching the movie, I actually was like taking a note of like, yo, the amount of times that they've had to zap this woman,
Yes!
like, they might as well just recruit her.
Yes.
And then they did. And I was like, all right, never mind.
Yeah, it made the most sense. All right, I got some interesting facts for you if you're ready for them.
I'm ready for them.
Okay, so initially, Will Smith did not want to accept the role because the year before he had started Independence Day, and he didn't want to make another movie about aliens. So at first he was like, this is like, I just
Too
did
much.
this.
It's overkill.
And so for his role, they were looking at Chris O'Donnell and David Schwimmer, but they both turned it down.
They're probably like, this movie's going to suck.
Yeah, can you imagine Ross as like Ross as Will Smith? Like I can't.
We were on a break from aliens. Yeah, nah.
That doesn't make. I don't really like that.
I also don't really love him with Tommy Lee Jones. Like that
At
also
all.
doesn't really hit for me
Well,
the same way.
For the role of Kay, they were looking at Clint Eastwood.
Okay, that hits for me.
That would've
works.
worked.
That works. Yeah.
He has that like surly.
Yeah, the
old
gruff,
man
no
look.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Doesn't smile, doesn't make friends.
Yeah.
And I guess speaking of which we didn't really talk about the end of the end, but we do get a hint throughout the course of the movie that there was female interest that Kay left behind.
Yeah.
So although he had this like hardened exterior, he was obviously still surveilling his ex-wife, which was kind of creepy, but also he doesn't exist anymore, so I guess it doesn't matter. And you have access to surveil the entire world. So he's like checking her out, like just to kind of see what she's up to, and you could tell that he misses her, but he doesn't want to talk about it.
Of course.
And then at the end of the movie, he basically is like, yo, like, I'm stepping away. Like, I can't do this
I'm too
anymore.
old.
And I think, like,
He's
it
over
wasn't
it.
necessary. Yeah, I think he was over
Over
it
it.
more so than he was too old. It's just like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to stop existing. And what they end up showing is that he gets zapped, and the story that's in the tabloids, which we come to find out are all true.
Yes.
Tabloids
If you
are
want-
all based
yes.
on the alien truth that
Yep.
that they're hiding from us. So Agent K uses those as like his newspaper. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, at the very end, we see that he is able to reunite with his wife, and they basically get zapped and told that he was just in a coma.
Coma for like 45 years or something insane. But I mean, happy ending for him. I did like that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was about to mention. So the part where Will Smith was crushing those cockroaches at the end to get the bug to essentially not leave the planet.
They imported roaches and
No. The American Humane Society
oh god.
made sure. Okay, what is the oh god?
No, go ahead.
You
go
don't
ahead.
care about
no, go
animals?
ahead. Tell me.
The American Humane Society made sure no animals were hurt during filming, including the cockroaches. Will Smith was actually crushing mustard packets. At the end of each day, they had to count all the roaches to make sure that none were missing. What are your thoughts on that?
I have none.
None?
Uh,
Roaches are animals too, Joel.
no, they're not. They're roaches. I was trying to maintain neutrality and I couldn't. I'm not buying that. Nah.
There's nothing to buy. It's a fact.
Nah, because it's
What
like,
is there
come
for you
on,
to buy?
Because it's like roaches are like, they're roaches.
But
they're
think
pests.
about it. So we're gonna be bringing in roaches to drop and kill on camera, like intentionally. Like why?
No, there's
You know
no
what I
need to
mean?
do that for a movie. but-
Right. That's why they
No,
said.
I agree, but it's
Yeah.
also like,
Yeah.
if they did do that, I would not care at all. And it's not the same as like if they were like killing cats. Like yeah, that's not the same
Why?
thing to me.
An animal's an animal. They're all God's creatures.
All right. Themes of other than they're all God's creatures. Do you have any other themes for Men in Black?
I always struggle with themes. I don't know what it is with me.
Well, you could prepare before we start. That would be a nice
Well.
way to maybe have a theme.
For some reason, it's like I take notes about what happened, like in my facts, and then I forget about the theme every single week. And then you ask me, and I'm like, the theme is.
Well, there's a few that I came up with. One of them I already mentioned, which is like this whole idea of ignorance is bliss. Like it's better for you to maybe not know everything.
Yeah.
I think another theme is kind of connected to that, but like there's more to life than what meets the eye, and like there's more going on than like what you think. But I think like specifically thinking about the Agent K character and how his character ends up, I think there's this theme of like the importance of relationship, and like even if you have an important job or you're doing something for humanity at large, like what ultimately like fulfills human life is connection with others. And so like even though he's doing like the good deed of saving the earth, he never really got over his wife, and he ultimately had to leave his job behind because
Yeah.
like the crux of like the human existence is actually based on being able to connect with other humans.
With someone else. Yeah, that's true. Oh, shoot. I almost forgot. I got to get this in here. So when Agent K brings in Will Smith into the back of the agency and he's showing them like this huge screen, and he's basically saying that the aliens are on the world all the time and that we're monitoring them when they come into the planet. On the screen, they're showing actual celebrities. I don't know if you caught
Oh
this.
yeah, I know. I definitely caught that. I saw Dionne Warwick.
Yep.
I saw Al Roker.
Yep.
I saw Newt Gingrich.
Yep.
I didn't notice there was a Dennis Rodman joke at the end of the movie.
Dennis Rodman and Elvis were both mentioned as aliens.
Yep.
Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, I did see him too.
There was Danny DeVito,
I didn't see him.
Steven Spielberg,
And he executive produced this movie.
Yes,
he
and-
probably included himself.
and Another one you wouldn't have known what he looked like was Barry Sonnenfeld, who was the director.
Oh, nice.
So Barry, not only did he direct MIB, MIB2, MIB3, he also did Wild Wild West, The Addams Family, and Addams Family Values.
Oh, so he has a specific type of film that he likes to direct.
And I like most of them. Well, Wild Wild West was kind of a dud, but Addams Family I was here for. But yeah, he also was shown as one of the aliens. I thought that was kind of interesting. They put themselves in there as a joke.
All right, it's the moment of truth.
Dun, dun, dun.
Men in Black.
Dun, 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 dun.
What are you giving it? How many rewinds from 1 to 5?
I feel like I've been giving the score out a lot lately, but this is just how I feel about these movies.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 4.
4,
which
okay.
is higher than I thought. So going into it, I didn't think I would like it that much. I was like, Men in Black was like just some alien movie. Like I felt like I just wouldn't really like it. But I laughed quite a bit. Will Smith, like you said, was fantastic.
Nah, he was great.
I literally was laughing out loud, and it was a good time. Not to mention, like, you know, seeing Monk, seeing Law and Order guy, and of course Tommy Lee is just...
Did you notice David Cross from Arrested Development?
No. I'm not really familiar with that. I mean, I've seen a few episodes of that show, but I'm not like a fan of the show.
The guy who always wore he never.
Oh, okay.
He always had on the jean shorts.
Jean shorts.
Yeah.
Tobias was a never nude, which is exactly what it sounds like.
I don't do nudity. It says that right on my resume. Okay, but what do you think I wear these for?
He was in the movie, and then the bug ends up killing him.
Oh, I missed that.
Because he's trying to get information from him or something. He basically played the morgue attendant when the bug shows up.
Okay, outside before he gets in.
Yeah.
Okay, I completely missed that. But yeah, I think it was loads of fun. I laughed. It was a good time. It did what it needed to do. I mean, it wasn't anything too deep, but it was entertaining. I didn't feel bored at all. I didn't feel like I had to stop and come back. So solid 4 for me.
Nah, that's solid. I mean, I also liked the fact that it was under 100 minutes long.
Yes.
Like, it was like perfect, like get in and get out, give me a bunch of jokes. They didn't make the plot go on and on and on. Yeah, it was definitely better than I remembered. Yeah, Will Smith did a really good job. And I feel like the cast in general was pretty strong. I am kind of not really sure, so I was kind of stalling for time. Stalling. Nah, I mean, I guess I'm kind of between a 3.5 and a 4, and I'm kind of in the middle because I feel like the movie itself, in terms of entertainment value, is a solid 4. I guess I'm nitpicking a bit at like the replay value, primarily because sci-fi comedy is not something that I'm typically prone to like go back to a lot. And like now that I've seen this movie and I enjoyed it, I don't know how long it would be before I'd like actually be interested in watching it again.
Okay.
So I think I'm a little on the fence there in terms of like the actual replay value. So maybe I'll go like a 3.75.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Difference, you know? I'm nitpicking a bit here, but
okay.
Yeah, a 3.5 feels a little low, so I'll go 3.75. Yeah.
All right, pretty good score.
Let us know what your rating for this movie is, or any of the other movies that we've covered. This is episode 14 or 15, actually.
Oh wow!
So yeah, 15 episodes in. If you have not listened to the past few,
go back.
Definitely go back and check
Rewind,
us out.
re-listen,
and
rewatch.
Watch. All right.
Wait, hit us up at RR90spod on IG. We're also on TikTok and Twitter. And then also send us an email at rewindrewatch1990s@gmail.com. Continue sending those listener requests because we are working our way through the list.
All right.
All right. Later.